in dealing with opioid heroin abuse. In the Veterans Bill we just passed and sent, of those 12 appropriations bills, we had significant dollars in there, upped increase, even beyond the request of President Obama in the past, dollars for veterans care dealing with opioid heroin abuse. Now the concern you ought to be addressing is to Senator Stabenow and Senator Peters, because the Senate has not taken those bills up yet. We have passed that legislation. It's there for the taking. And I take a bit of offense at saying we are just showing, what was the term, fake concern. That's absolutely false. And if you see the legislation that I've introduced on that same thing, and Debbie Dingell and I together have introduced, dealing with opioid heroin abuse, we are doing our level best at that, folks. But then it goes back to a moral discussion again about what is happening in our country that's bringing us this type of tragedy that crosses all boundaries. Political, geo, all of it. So bottom line, folks, that's the issue we address. We are doing our level best in the U.S. House of Representatives. Thank you.
HR 4069.
Next question comes from Susan from Adrian. As a retired teacher, I want to know why you are not forcefully objecting to the language and bullying attitudes of Trump. Our children are watching.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm glad you're at the town halls here. Other town halls, questions like that have been addressed. I've not shied away from saying the fact that I don't appreciate all of Donald Trump's tweets, don't appreciate all of the attitudes and emotions that are expressed, but he is the president, and we've said that. I will continue to control my tweets and control my language, and I think you have to admit the fact that that hasn't crossed the line. I can do it for myself. But the American people elected Donald Trump as president. They put him in place, and he is the president of the United States. Whether some of you like that or not, I didn't like the last 8 years, but I worked with the president of the United States in the last 8 years. But I didn't like that. And I know that some of you don't like this president. But like I'd say, folks, again, we have too much good in the United States of America to let that get us to the point of being angry and bitter all the time. That's why I say get a life. Look outside and see what the beauty is out there.
You speak for us.
I speak for us.
You represent us.
I speak for the 7th District of Michigan.
We are the 7th District.
I understand that.
You speak for us.
And let me answer that question. I was elected strongly by the 7th District. I was elected having spent $50,000 less than my opponent.
$12 million.
Look at the full facts. But the people of the 7th District said, Tim, we're going to have you represent us. And 15% over my opponent. Now, if you ask me, do I represent the 7th District? I had better represent you according to what I said I would do, the positions I espoused, the promises I made. If I didn't do that, I would be wrong. So, you have the opportunity to make your decisions on the basis of my representation, my promises, and my promises made and promises kept, along with every other citizen in the 7th District. I don't take that for granted. If I did, I wouldn't do these town halls. Why would I come and do a town hall like this to have people shout me down? Huh? Stop and think about that. If I was just representing the people that elected me, and just keeping that, I would make sure we didn't have public town halls. We'd have rallies. And I would invite the supporters in. But that's not the case. So that's why I say, folks, hey, we reside together. We don't always agree. But we're Americans. I'm proud of that fact. I hope you are as well.
Next question comes from Phyllis from Britain. Why do our representatives in Congress get exempt from the many privileges that we, who they represent and pay them, are told we must do? 1, Social Security, they have their own special plan. 2, subsidies in health care, their own special care instead of forced into what they impose on us. 3, fantastic retirement plans. And 4, many more that we are not even aware of.
I'm glad it comes up because it just doesn't seem to die. And it gives me a chance to answer it. And so a few more people will hear the truth about what actually goes on. And it causes me to gnash my teeth about Rush Limbaugh, who started this. First rumor is that we only have to serve 1 term and we can retire with our full benefits and wages at the level of what we got when we were in office. I mean, there's some question about the intellect of members of Congress, I understand that. But why in the world would I campaign for this office over and over again if I could get that type of retirement after 1 term in office? I served 1 term in office, as you may recollect, 2007 and 8, and then I was defeated and sent home in 2008. Mark Schauer became your representative. 2010, as a result of Mark Schauer voting for Dodd-Frank, the Affordable Care Act, cap and trade, the stimulus plan, etc., was sent home. And I was put back. And I was put back into office. So the question is, if I would have had my full retirement at 100, I forget what it was at that tenure. Well, I know what it was. We haven't had a raise in 12 years. There's been no raise. But I'm not complaining, so don't give me the all stuff. Get a life. You want an answer to it. Why would I put myself running through it if I could be living on $174,000 retired?
You needed a 5th year.
No, I didn't. The rumor I was answering was that we did it immediately. That's not true. Secondly, our financial retirement plan is a defined contribution or defined benefit? Let me answer it. It's a 401k plan. It's a 401k plan that I contribute to and my employer contributes to.
How much?
So the bottom line is, we're on the same plan as many of you are, and the same lesser plan than probably most people that serve in state government.
Proportion.
So bottom line is, it's a 401k plan. That's what we get. Secondly, health benefits. We don't get lifetime health benefits. We don't get lifetime health benefits, so that's not there. FICA. I don't have my most recent pay stub, but I could show you I pay FICA as well. Same thing. So the question was, why do we get those special? We don't. Go home, tell your friends and neighbors that is not true. And Obamacare, oh, by the way, Alex, my staffer here, Dustin, my staffer, where'd Stephen go? Stephen? Unless their spouses have something other than Obamacare, they're on Obamacare. Yeah, but you asked me. You asked. And members of Congress who don't have a spouse with something else or are on Medicare like me are on Obamacare as well. And that's why we want to do away with Obamacare. Okay, the Affordable Care Act. President Obama called it Obamacare. I'm not being disparaging of that. President Obama called it, but if you want me to call it Affordable Care Act, I'll call it Affordable Care Act. It's not affordable, but it's not affordable, but it's Affordable Care Act. Next question.
All right, next question.
Please go and tell people those rumors. You heard today the truth on those.
Next question is from...
Representative Walberg, with all due respect, could you please stop telling us to get a life? Okay, I'm trying really hard to respect you, and I think that's totally disrespectful to us.
I don't think it's... I'm not disrespecting it. I'm not disrespecting it. If you can't take a simple statement that says, folks, we need to get a life.
No, you didn't say
I get a life. Get a life. Enjoy America, folks. Come on, this politically correct stuff at times goes too far. Goes too far. Goes too far. Hey, listen, this is my town hall meeting. We're going to do it the best way we can. Okay?
Folks, next question comes from Mel from Britain. My wife's insurance, I go to VA. Before Obamacare was $546. After Obamacare, it's $726, a $180 increase. Obama subsidy, $540. She pays $196. What happens now that Mr. Trump signed order to stop the subsidy, and is that what indeed happened?
That's what happens. And that's why the courts said that Barack Obama shouldn't have done that. It was a violation of the law.
Didn't the Supreme Court, it was the
Next
law.
question.
No.
That was your question?
Point out one thing. The main thing I want to point out on that is the premium went up by over $200 as soon as the government started paying it. So with what happened, well, the government, the insurance companies, when the government quits paying it, they go to the people that can afford what they pay. All right? When the government stops giving them the money, is that going to force them to come back to where they were before so we can really afford to do that? Is that the intent?
They're going to go to where the costs are. Whatever it costs. By the government using the CSR, the funding that would take up the slack and make it possible for people to pay by paying off the big insurance companies.
Single payer.
Because they were being forced to provide this coverage for sick or healthy, young or old, equal. They're going to still get their pay. And that's why we're going to see premium increases take place. And that's what's so sad about the Affordable Care Act, is that it has not kept the promises that the president made. You're going to see, on average, $2,500 reduction per family. You're going to see the ability to keep your health care if you like it. You're going to see the ability to keep your doctor if you like him or her. You're going to see the ability to keep your network if you like it. None of that has been true. And this isn't true. The house of cards is falling. And while there will be a minority, few people that may still, for one reason or another, primarily because of being on Medicaid, be better off than they were before with the expanded Medicaid, the rest of us are going to be a world of hurt. And that's why we are trying to fix it. And that's why you need to talk to your senators and say, when it comes back up in 2018, and it will come back up again in 2018, fix it. Fix it.
That's right. You have money
That's
for
good.
law, you can save people.
Budget policy group. That would be the cost of going to a single payer system in California would be $300 billion annually. And as he said, that will require me to raise taxes by over $200 billion a year on the Californians just to pay for single payer. And so that's why I will veto it. So anyway, bottom line is, single payer hasn't worked, won't work, and I don't support it.
Medicare is single payer and it
All
doesn't
right.
work.
Next question comes from Roland from Tecumseh. Why is the Senate sitting on bills?
And let me get this answer out, please. Okay? 2 key reasons. Three to 5 obstructive Republican senators and Chuck Schumer.
Let him finish, please.
3 to 5 obstructionist Republican senators Chuck Schumer, and 48 Democrats. That's it. That's it.
Who are the five?
Next question is Kathy from Tecumseh. Why are jarts, you know, the old lawn darts, illegal to sell but not AK-47s?
Because jarts aren't covered by the Second Amendment. Next question.
All right. Next question is from John from Monroe. The ACA helps 800,000 Michigan citizens. Many of the Senate plans seem to dismantle it. Do you support the President's executive order to stop subsidy payments to encourage insurance companies to participate in the marketplace?
Excellent question.
Excellent question. Let me rephrase the answer to make it even more excellent. I support the rule of law and the fact that this president honored the court decision that said that was illegal for the former president to appropriate and spend dollars he had no authority to appropriate or spend. As you know, having taken government or civics, whatever it's called, during your time in high school, the president has no appropriating authority. That only comes from Congress, starting in the House. President Obama knew that. And initially he even said, give me the funding to do this. Democrats and Republicans alike, in a bipartisan statement, said, no, we can't do that. Some thought, on the left side, that they didn't want to fund big insurance and give them a special subsidy. Others of us said, if the Affordable Care Act is so costly and so hurtful, why would I want to continue that? Let's fix it. Let's end it. Let's put in place the right proposal. And that's what we've done in the House. And that's where we get back to those 3 to 5 Republicans, Chuck Schumer, and 48 Democrats stopping the process from moving. I think I have time for one more question.
Sure. One more question, and then I've been told that
The hour is up.
Our hour is up. So this last question comes from Lucy from Tecumseh. How do you feel about regular order?
I'm fully supportive of regular order. And that's why I'm glad in the House, regular order is the due process that we go under. Like I said, 1,000 amendments were put up, dealt with, and it took a long time, way into the wee hours of the morning at times, but hey, we're there, we might as well be working. So the regular order is great. It can be messy, but it's the way I think things were intended to be. And I want to say thank you to each of you for being here. Whether you agree or disagree with me, the fact that you're here, this is part of the American system. It's a participatory government. There have been cameras on me, there have been trackers on me here today from my opposition. There will be snippets put out during the course of the campaign. There are quotes that will be made without full quote. And I want you to understand, folks, we've done our best to be as clear and as honest and as full answering with you as we possibly could be. But in the end, folks, unless we join together as Republicans and Democrats and independents and socialists, and you name it, this country doesn't survive. So again, thank you. We'll be coming to another town near you or away from you, because we know people have come from great distance to be here today as well, as those of you who live here. And there'll be plenty more that you'll have the opportunity. So thanks. Have a great day. Enjoy the life that you have. Enjoy it.